Hello everybody, welcome one and all, as we are getting ready for another Australian international match in the second round of the World Cup Qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. We will be continuing our match, continuing our second round as we take on Chinese Taipei. Now, so far in the group, Chinese Taipei have been the whipping boys of the group so far, as basically they've only scored 2 goals throughout the entire tournament, and they have also not won a game. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what will occur. Shout out to Marcus Magoo, who did subscribe earlier. But just before I came live, I just wanted to say that out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. What will happen in this match. This game will just almost certainly guarantee us going through towards the fabled third round, when it comes to qualifying for the World Cup. So a lot of changes actually have been made for the Australian team, as pretty much it's 11 changes. It's a completely brand new starting 11 from the original one of the game against Kuwait. So we've got Danny Vukovic at goalkeeper. You've got Brandon Borrello, Kenny Dougal, Mitchell Duke, and Dennis Genru. Followed by Curtis Good, Ryan Grant, Jamie McLaren, Riley McGree, Trent Sainsbury, and Harry Suter. Very much a major bit of A-League influence, with about half the players currently or have played in the A-League. So very interested to see how they will go as for starters. On the sub, you've got Aziz Behic, Martin Boyle, Ajden Hudostik, Chris Okonomides, Jackson Irvine, Fran Karacic, Matthew Leckie, Connor Metcalf, Andrew Redmayne, Nikita Rukavica, Lawrence Thomas, and Ruan Tongic. Obviously, so Kenny Dougal starting in this, getting his first Socceroos starting debut, as he did score 2 goals in the League One playoff between Blackpool and Lincoln, sending Blackpool up to the championship. Be very interesting to see what will in fact go down for this World Cup qualifier. Just trying to check to see if everything is running all smoothly. We are not that long away from the game kicking off. It says it kicks off at 5. We are 10 minutes actually away from the kickoff of the match. And just a little heads up reminder: this game will not be showing footage, because the FIFA will come and absolutely attack me. Trust me, it'll be very, very scary on my behalf. Okay, I'm trying to get the thing here leveled up with the chat box, but it looks all good. Just trying to check to see everything is going all well with the actual stream. Just going into the YouTube studio just to see that everything is running to plan, everything is going well. If the tags are getting implemented. Australian football, Chinese stuff. Try to see if I've updated these from save that, and then just a little cheeky updates to the to things. So with Chinese Taipei, it will be interesting to see what does happen with them. So the lineups up at goalkeeper, you got Shinan Shin, you got Chowen Chen, Hao Cheng, Jui Chia Chen, Tin Yang Chen, Wei Chuang Chen, Emilio Estevez, Wei Jie Zhao, Yoshitaka Komori, Zhao Yupai, and Chong Qinghua, who is the captain. You got Peng Long Hsieh, Hang Ping Su, Yi Su, Meng Xing Liang, Mao Li, Chang Long Lin, Ming Wei Lin, Chia Tu Xiao, Meng Cheng Tsai, Hshuan Tuan, Rui Wang, and Xie Pan Wang on the bench. So it's going to be a very interesting to say the least on what will actually go down for the match. So there are a bunch of other games that have happened so far. There is also going to be games that are currently going on, so we're going to go through them of all the other matches that happened in the World Cup qualifiers. As India have beaten Bangladesh 2-0, Syria have beaten Guam 3-0, Iraq has defeated Cambodia 4-1, Jordan has defeated Nepal 3-0, Iran has defeated Bahrain 3-0, the United Arab Emirates have defeated Thailand 3-1, Vietnam has defeated Indonesia 4-0. In the 90, China are 1-0 up against the Philippines. In the 83rd, Qatar are beating Oman 1-0. Uzbekistan are up 3-0 at halftime against Singapore. And then we got this match as both flags are coming out now onto the field. So we're getting ready now as both teams are to be set to coming out to the field, both Australia and Chinese Taipei. So almost ready now for this match between Australia and Chinese Taipei. Very different Australian squad coming into this with a lot of A-League influence with the likes of Dennis Genru, Mitchell Duke, Curtis Good, Ryan Grant and Jamie McLaren in the starting 11. So how long we got to go? I'm just searching. How long we got to go? We've got about 5 minutes before it said kickoff would start. Yeah, it also is very interesting how Adam Taggart isn't a part of the team as the FIFA logo is coming out onto the field now. So basically, on both teams now coming out as Australia are about to kick off against Chinese Taipei. So the referees are coming out now. Basically, both teams are lining up, getting ready for the anthems, and then we'll be underway for the matches. For the match. But they did play earlier on in this group, and it was a 7-1 win back in 2019 to Australia. There we go. So both anthems are done. There is 90 minutes of football on the line here in this match, as this will definitely, certainly qualify for Australia to go to the third round between Australia and Chinese Taipei. So the weather currently at the moment, it is 37 degrees Celsius over in Chinese, no, not Chinese Taipei, it's over in Kuwait. It's apparently humid as all hell, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it will go in the very least. Just for the other matches, it is a goal right at the end for the Chinese-Philippines match, so it's a 2-0 win for China. Qatar with about 1 minute till added time. They are still up 1-0 against Oman, and Uzbekistan beating Singapore 3-0 at half time. Trent Sainsbury is the captain for Australia this match. Okay, so there we go. So as there's been a bit of a cock up here with the thing, as the assistant referees, there are 3 of them, but there's 4 slots, and the 4th just has a line through it. But anyways, a very changed Australian team with a lot of emphasis on the A-League players, featuring Mitchell Duke, Dennis Genru, Curtis Good, Ryan Grant, and Jamie McLaren, as they play for MacArthur, Sydney FC, and Melbourne City respectfully. So it's a 4-3-1-2 lineup here, as Mitchell Duke is in as Mitchell Duke is playing as the cam, and Brendan Barello and Jamie McLaren, as Jamie McLaren, who has been an absolute gun for Melbourne City in the A-League season, as he is the top goal scorer with, I believe, 25 goals. And then you got Chinese Taipei, who are, which hopefully over the coming years with Chinese Taipei they can develop at playing against these bigger teams. And as the whistle goes, we are underway between Australia and Chinese Taipei, if this is going to update or not. Is it? Oh, it's a little bit better, but I believe as Australia's currently got the ball in their defensive half at the moment. For some reason, the score thing hasn't started. It's Australia now in on the attack inside of Chinese Taipei's half. They're going to get forced down the middle, but it's a good defence there by Chinese Taipei as they try to force down with Australia, then regain possession, trying to get a through ball here. So it's going to be, the passing's going to be the key thing for Australia here to completely shut out Chinese Taipei from this matchup. Obviously, just a reminder that no game footage will be shown for this match, unfortunately, due to the copyright. As there we go, the game has now officially kicked off. There's a whipping over the top here for Australia, and it's going to go out. I believe it's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei. It'll be very interesting to see what will come from this match, and seeing, I would like to see Nikita Rukavica actually come onto the field as a sub, because he's actually been going really well in, I believe he's playing in the Israeli league, I believe is where he's at, and he was banging goals. He's probably like one of the best on form Australians who are playing outside of Australia. As John Rowe now has gone the ball pass, Australia now inside of Taipei's half. I feel like it's going to be morely a defensive game going to be played by Chinese Taipei. As Mitchell Duke unfortunately loses the ball there. Good bit of play there by Chinese Taipei as they start to move in. Is Xiao Yu Pai, who currently has the ball, as they move into the Australian half. And try to get a through ball in, but that's a good defensive clear there by Australia, but it will go out for a throw-in for Chinese Taipei. And then it shows the The head coaches Graham Arnold and Henry Von. So here comes the throw in from Xiao Yu Pai. It looks like it's going to set to be a long one into the box, and it is. But it's going to be headed away there by Trent Sainsbury, who is the captain for this match for Australia. And now that is Brandon Borrello with control. He sends it to the defence, so Australia can reset and push themselves up to the field. So here's the number 19, that's Harry Sutar, who's given the ball off to the number 4 of Ryan Grant. Harry Sutar, of course, playing for Stoke City. Just a tiny 6'7". It's ball over the top here. There's a lot of pressure on for Australia trying to get the ball in here. Oh, it's gone past everybody, but it's going to fall down to the side of Ryan Grant. There's now a chip over the top here, and it's a header, and it's gone just over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick here for Chinese Taipei. The number 14 of Brandon Borrello. Headers were very deadly for Australia when they last played against Chinese Taipei. And that was the first of probably many, as that is unfortunate there for Brandon Borrello, who wasn't able to keep the ball down as it just whisks over the crossbar, as we're only 4 minutes in to this match. So here comes the kick by Shinan Shin, the goalkeeper for Chinese Taipei. And from that header from the halfway line, it's going to go all the way back to the goal line. It's going to be another goal kick for Chinese Taipei. So this potential win here for Australia, if they do win this will be Australia, the first time Australia will have 6 wins in a row since 2001, which is a very interesting stat. So there's the goal kick there by Chinese Taipei, and it's going to be... Oh. And it was headed there by Harry Sutar. He's going to be a big factor for this match. As that is Kenny Dougal now, who is also starting, of course, scoring 2 goals in the League One playoff final to get Blackpool into the championship. Now it's Harry Sutar who's given the ball off to Ryan Grant. Now they're playing it down the midfield. That is Dougal now, who gives it off to Dennis Genru from the Macarthur Bulls, as they're gearing up for their first finals match this week against the Central Coast Mariners. I hope they win, for the sole purpose that I hate the Mariners. But so it's a throw in here right on halfway here for Australia. Basically Australia trying to size out the competition, and that's a pass there by Kenny Dougal. That's gone all the way out. It's going to be a throw in there to Chinese Taipei. I think the first mistake there by the Australian team, as they were pretty much almost perfect last week, a couple of days ago against Kuwait. But then again, this is a completely different new team that is being fielded for Australia. The Chinese Taipei having the defence are going to send it over the top to get it into the half, but Harry Sutar, he's going to be a big problem for the Chinese Taipei attack of trying to get balls into the attacking half. All 6'7" of him. Tall bastard I believe is his nickname. I mean, it's not, but you know what I mean. So now that's Kenny Dougal now with the ball. He's going to send it to the side with Ryan Grant. He'll force it back to Dougal, as there is currently 9 Chinese Taipei players defending against 5 Australians. And here's a shot outside the box here, and it's just gone wide. That would have been a brilliant goal there for Australia, but it goes begging. It was the number 5 of Dennis Genru taking a shot outside of the box, but it does go out, and it'll be a goal kick to... Oh, it's the right idea, Curly, but it just goes wide of the top corner. I mean, it was like a metre away, but it's going to be a goal kick here for Chinese Taipei. And now Ryan Grant will go for the header, and he has won it. So Dougal now is giving it off to Sainsbury. And now Grant keeps it in. He's going to send it back to Sainsbury. Some good bit of play there from the Sydney FC player. Will be interesting to see how these players will be getting back for the finals, because I'm fairly certain all the teams that have been listed of the players who are playing here are actually playing in the finals. So it'll be interesting, will they be back for like the elimination matches? Because I know that Adelaide United and MacArthur are playing in the elimination finals this weekend. As Dougal now gets the ball from a sloppy pass out by Chinese Taipei. Going to send it down the side here. Or it was knocked down inside the box there, but I believe it was too weak to be called a penalty, as Australia did get a bit of a interesting penalty decision in their favour against Kuwait, but the ball's gone out there as Brandon Barello tried to keep it in, but it has not kept in, so it's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei again. So saying here, it was the number 20. It was Xiao Yupai, but pushes Brandon Barello off the ball there, and the commentators are stating how don't know how the referee missed that, but yeah, so they're saying it's an even out because Australia got a bit of a dodgy penalty call in their favour against Kuwait, but then they get one that doesn't go their way for what people think, what the commentators are saying should be a penalty. So now Ryan Grant now with the ball with his shaved head from his he's shaved his mullet for charity. As Kenny Dougal now has the ball in the midfield, and they're trying to get passes off here, but trying to stop her holding well. It is the first 9 minutes, but it's a counter attack here for Australia. It's beaten 1, beats 2. It's McGree, not a handball, but it was a shot there from the rebound by Jamie McLaren, and it's going to come off a Chinese Taipei player, and it's going to be a corner to Australia. The first one, Australia got a fair amount of corners in the match against Kuwait, so it's going to be interesting how Australia will line up here. As Riley McGree got the ball off there, beats 2 players, tries to get the shot off, but it comes off a deflection. And then falls to Jamie McLaren, takes a shot, it comes off a defender. So here's the kick here. And it's a header, it's into the box. Oh, and that's a beautiful tip over the bar there by Shinan Xing. And it's going to be another corner here for Australia. So the header there was off Jamie McLaren, who currently is the top goal scorer in the A-League. Well, he will be the top goal scorer this season, as the referee's having some words with a bunch of the players in the 18-yard box. As it's Jamie McLaren and Shinan Shin are having some words. As we're 10.5 minutes into this match, it's going to be the second corner here for Australia. Got to probably send it to Harry Suter. It's pressure inside the box. There's a header, and it's 1-0 to Australia. And it is Harry Suter. I spoke it into existence immediately after it happened. It is 1-0 to Australia, and Harry Suter gets the goal almost exactly as I say. It happens. I spoke it into existence. I'm LeVar Ball. The header straight to the 6'7" Stoke City player. Absolutely pings it in. A brilliant delivery as well, and it's 1-0 to Australia. You just don't beat him in the air. That's a clip right there of me absolutely calling what happens exactly. There was a whip in there by Riley McGree, so now 11.5 minutes gone. It is 1-0 to Australia. So it says here he's played 38 games last season for Stoke City. Only 1 goal actually, which was against Wickham. The Wickham Wanderers. A team with Akinfenwa. There's an attempted free ball there by Australia. It's gone to Chinese Taipei now. They're going to try to send the ball over the top, but it's going to go out and it's going to be a throw into Australia. I'm pretty chuffed with that, to be fair. Me absolutely calling what happens like 3 seconds before it happens. Now Grant's now getting the ball off to Riley McGree, the Birmingham City player. Mark Hunt, what are you doing? What are you doing up? Can't hang around off to work. Oh, it's the just just some international football. Hope you have a good day at work. I mean, anyway, as Kenny Dougal now with the in the midfield now for Australia, trying to force a way in. It's a very central defensive line here for Chinese Taipei. No one's going out to the wings, and that's where Australia's been pretty deadly of sending players down to the wing. For example, of like Ryan Grant, and there's a whip over the top here, and it's a header, and it's going to fall to an Australian. But the shot goes out anyways. But I believe it was an offside against Australia, so it's going to be a free kick to Chinese Taipei. As that was the number 4, that was Ryan Grant, who was well and truly offside there. As Harry Suter had, it was the number 5, it was Hao Cheng. He was pretty much grabbing onto him the entire time, but Harry Suter just kept going as the referees brought the ball back here. As there was a free kick there to Chinese Taipei. I don't know what's happened, but it was a free kick anyways. So Chinese Taipei now play it on. Let's get off to the number 8 of Emilio Estevez, not the actor. Don't ask. Don't ask how Coach Bombay is playing for Chinese Taipei. I mean, good for him. Must be the sequel to the Mighty Ducks Game Changers on Disney Plus. Maybe, I'm not too sure. So now the ball's gone deep into Australian's half, but it's going to be an Australian throw in here. That was thrown in there by Harry Suter. Now Australia trying to push into the Chinese Taipei midfield, and that's the thing. They've left the wing completely open here for Ryan Grant down the side, and they're going to give it to him, the Australian team, and it's just completely forcing. Because again, like, the backline's just been very central for Chinese Taipei, so they just need a ball down the sideline for a whip in, and Chinese Taipei are caught in a bit of a vulnerable position. As that is the number 15, that is Mitchell Duke. As the ball has gone out, and it's going to be a throw in to Australia. As of course Mitchell Duke, one of the attacking midfield players from the A-League, playing for the Western Sydney Wanderers, who did miss out on the finals. So now Australia now pass it down the midfield. Almost a good bit of play, but Chinese Taipei have gotten the ball back here. And there's a chance for a potential counter-attack here. That's the number 22, that is Jushay Chen. That's a ball over the top here as well. And it's going to be a race, but the number 23 of Curtis Good has gotten it. Another Melbourne City player. As they try to keep it in, but the ball has gone out, so it's going to be a throw-in deep into Australia's half for Chinese Taipei. So a big chance there for a chance for Chinese Taipei to get an attack going. And by the way it's looking, they're going to go for another deep throw in here from the number 20 of Xiao Yu Pai, as he did one earlier before. And there's the throw, and it's gone to control Chinese Taipei. It's a whipping over the top here. Oh, a bit of sloppiness there by and Emilio Estevez now with a shot. And that's a brilliant save there by Danny Vukovic, and it's going to be booted out, and it's going to be a corner, sorry, for Chinese Taipei, as Emilio Estevez had gotten the ball and he took a shot, but it was very close, but he was appealed for a penalty. The ball's, oh my god, the ball for is put on the corner thing. It's nowhere on it. So there's the whip in there, and it's going to be headed out. So it's going to be another corner now for Chinese Taipei. That was a really good save there by by Danny Vukovic, who is currently a free agent, but there's apparently rumours he's going to go to, I think, Denmark. He's not, you could fly an airplane between the gap of the ball on the corner ball being placed on the line to where the ball actually is. It's a bit ridiculous, but Australia's gotten the ball from the defence. And now Chinese Taipei's defence has it. That was the number 5. That is Hao Cheng. But Australia, from that, it was a foul whip in, so Australia now has the ball. Need to control it around these parts, so as 18 minutes have now gone and it's still 1-0. Get a look at the other scores of the matches that have been happening. Qatar have beaten Oman 1-0, and it is 61 minutes gone between Uzbekistan and Singapore, and Uzbekistan are now 4-0 up against Singapore. So now Australia playing around the midfield here, just as it's a very ultra defensive mode here for Chinese Taipei. But they still don't block the lines here as Ryan Grant now has got the ball, who tries to feed it down the middle. It's a bit of a 50-50, but it's fallen in favour of Chinese Taipei, but it eventually goes to the number 5 of Dennis Genru. And it's a ball down the line here. That's Riley McGree. Takes the past one. That's a bring down, but the referee is saying it was not enough for a free kick. I don't know how I feel about that, but Australia does get the ball back. It's the number 20. It's Trent Sainsbury. Picks up in the defence, and Australia will regain possession. Oh, but it's a bit of a terrible pass here, and Chinese Taipei could be under attack, but a good chase down there by Curtis Good. But it'll be a throw in now to Chinese Taipei as we are about to cross the 20-minute mark of this first half. Chinese Taipei now with the ball with possession. Now Australia got the ball back here and they're on the run at the moment. It's the number 21. It's Riley McGree. And it's a pass down the side. Can they keep it in? McLaren? He does, but it's gone straight into the hands of Shinan Xing, the Chinese Taipei goalkeeper. So Curtis Good, the ball's been sending up a lot of waste for to Curtis Good. Bit of pressure coming down on his half as we do cross the 20-minute mark. As now Australia now going down the side. It's Riley McGree again now with the ball. He was giving off the Ryan Grant. Now it's to Kenny Dougal. A lot of players back. I think it's about like 8-5. There's a 5 back line here now for Chinese Taipei. That ball's gone out there by Chinese Taipei as Brandon Barello tried to cut past the number 20 of Xiao Yu Pai. But it does go out, so it's going to be a third corner here now for Australia. As of course the second corner did go in. Good bit of work there by Emilio Estevez getting past Ryan Grant, but he gets the shot off, but it's a very meaty save there by Danny Vukovic. Here comes the corner now. And it's off to Sutar again. The keeper has come forward. McGree's taking a shot. It is another shot from outside the edge, but it's going to go over the top. It's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei. I feel like that's going to be the plan here. Is any whip in, they're going to, for the corner, they're going to try to get it onto the head of Harry Sutar, which I believe was the game plan against Nepal when they played over here. And apparently there's talks for the third round. There'll be no home games for Australia as well. Now Australia have gotten the ball inside, deep inside of Chinese Taipei's half. As we're pretty much just about halfway into There's a whipping here for Australia. It's going to go way too deep. It's the number 14. Choan Chen tried to clear it away, but Ryan Grant is able to pick it up just before it goes out. Here's another whip in on the head, but it's a great hands catch there by the Chinese Taipei goalkeeper. So here's the kick there, and it's going to go all the way out. It does make it inside of Australia's half, however, so it's going to be picked up here by Curtis Good to make the throw in. So Australia now playing around with the for here. That is Kenny Dougal now. Sorry, it's 5:30 in the morning. Bloody hell. Australia just playing with the ball here. They're trying to find a way inside the 18-yard box, but Chinese Taipei are holding him out. Australia's trying to cut in there, but Chinese Taipei have held out, and they're going to send the ball up to the middle of the field. And the whistle is sounded. It's going to be a free kick to Australia. No, is it, or is it a throw into Australia? Must have been just a throw in. So Australia now with in the similar position again of trying to break into the 18-yard box. They can get the ball going through here, but again, it's Chinese Taipei are holding up here. It's going to be a throw into Chinese Taipei as well. That was from the number 15 of Wei Jiao. As the header there from the earlier one was from the number 15 of Mitchell Duke. Now Australia now currently on the ball half. That's Kenny Dougal now. He's giving the ball off to McLaren. No, it was McGree, sorry, who's now giving the ball off to Ryan Grant. Now to McGree. Now to Dougal. Back to Grant. Now to Dougal. And it's a ball over the top here. It's good defence there by Chinese Taipei as the ball was trying to be sent up for McLaren for an over-the-top through ball. And that's going to be a penalty here for Australia as Jamie McLaren gets brought down heavily into the box, and it's a chance to go 2-0 up. So it's going to be Jamie McLaren who will take this penalty. It was from the foul was committed by the number 6 of Wei Chen. And now a chance here with Jamie McLaren against Shenan Xing to make it 2-0 to Australia in the 27th minute. So McLaren's going to take it up here to get a 2-goal advantage. Here's the kick. And just like that, it is 2-0 to Australia. Goal number 6 for Jamie McLaren in Australian colours. So it is 2-0 now to Australia. As we're still about 20 or so minutes away from half time. Oh yeah, that is definitely a penalty. Slides in, completely takes him out. As McLaren sends it down the middle, as the keeper goes right, as I think people would call that a Brexit penalty of Sean Dyche just hammering it straight down the middle. As looking to the other game, it's still 4-0 Uzbekistan over Singapore, as there is on the 70th minute. Now Australia trying to immediately score another one. Now it's a pass. That's Riley McGree now. Tries to get a shot off from the corner, and it's hit the post. And Grant with the follow-up, but it says that Grant is offside from the shot. It's the second time Grant has been called offside. Yep, the entire Australian attack was offside there from that shot from McGree, as it goes past the hand of Shinan Xing and it hits the post. There's the kick there from the goalkeeper for the offside. Now Riley McGree has the ball. It's going off to Kenny Dougal. You can tell who Kenny Dougal is because he's got like blonde strands in his hair. He's very easy to spot out. As Shenwei Xuan has the yellow card. It's ball at the top here. It's a 1-on-1 for McLaren, but there's a keeper. Oh, there's a chance there for Borello on nearly an open goal, and he hits the post. Oh, and it did come off a bit of a with a deflection from the Chinese Taipei defender, but that was surely should have been 3-0. Already 2-0. Wow. Oh well, Fever XCOM, welcome back. Nice to see you again. So it's a free ball there. It was a brilliant bit of play there. It was a 1-on-1 for Jamie McLaren. He takes the shot, saved by the keeper, and Brandon Borello, with almost an open goal to make it 3-0, hits the post. I think it may have come off deflection of the... no, it didn't. And he tried to get the shot off, but Brandon Borello did miss it and hit the post. So now Australia trying to break into... to ratify to make it 3-0. That's Kenny Dougal now with the ball. And so to get the ball over the top, it was Duke. It's flicked high up in the air inside the box. Australia's got the ball here. But it's safe defending there by Chinese Taipei. And it's going to be jockeyed here, but it's Emilio Estevez forces Ryan Grant to kick it out. So it's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei. As the two goals that have come through for Australia was a corner header from Harry Suter and a penalty by Jamie McLaren. Oh, sorry, I accidentally grazed the pen across the mark, and it's probably absolutely buzzed the ears of people watching. So now, that's a foul there by Australia on the number 14 of Chowan Chen. Or Chen Xiaowan, I believe. Chen Hao. I think I may have messed up the bloody... I might have written the last names first instead of the first names. It's as that is the number 14 getting looked at. It was a definite foul there by the Australian player. So it's gonna be a free kick right on halfway for Chinese Taipei. They have had a shot so far. Got into the box. Emilio Estevez with a shot, attempting on near post, but it was saved by Danny Vukovic. As there's about 13.5 minutes remaining until added time for the first half. And it's a free kick was sent over the top. It's going to go to Danny Vukovic, who rolls it out so Australia can continue their attack. It's Kenny Dougal now maintaining the ball. Is going to throw it to, I believe, that is Mitchell Duke, who tries to get it off to Brandon Borello. It's going to be weighted too heavily. And also a bit of good jockeying there by Chinese Taipei, so it's going to be a goal kick. I did also realise there's a fair few players actually in the Australian team that actually play over in Scotland. For example, Martin Boyle and Jackson Irvine are both a part of Hibernian or Hibs, and because it's a bit interesting because Ange Postecoglou is becoming the new Celtic coach. and all the Celtic fans aren't happy, even though that Ange Postecoglou has won titles in Japan, Australia, and of course won the Asian Cup 4 years ago. No, not even 4 years, 7 years ago actually. I'm old. 6, yeah. I'm old and shit at maths. So Australia now, it's Riley McGree now, who's fed it off to Kenny Dougal, sends it off to Borello. Now they're inside the 18 now. Oh, Australia trying to be too cheeky. Australia trying to see a whip in. There is one here. They see Ryan Grant. Doesn't go far enough for Ryan Grant to meet to the other sideline, but it's going to be punched out by the keeper, and it's going to be a throw-in for Australia. Ryan Grant will take it. Oh, Seb, oh, Seb, welcome, man. Nice to see you again. As Kenny Dougal now with the ball. Ryan Grant now with the whip in. And it's 1-1. Brandon Borello gets a knock on. He gets a touch, but it does go out, so it's going to be another goal kick for Chinese Taipei. Just seeing if there's any other... I should actually only... I just realised I should just be clicked on for the other match currently going on, which is of course Uzbekistan and Singapore. And if one of them does score, nice to see you too. Was watching the banger of a Germany game. Oh, who were Germany playing? Yeah. Okay, yep. They are beating Latvia 5-0 at halftime. Damn. I'm assuming this is Germany's tune-up game, or the spa before the European Championships, which start in a couple of days, which should be very interesting. So yeah, 5-0. Goosens, Gundogan, Muller, Nabry getting goals. There is an own goal. Yeah, Latvia comeback's going to be 6-5. So now Australia now with possession. We're just under 10 minutes remaining until added time. Will be interesting to see who... I honestly can't tell who's going to win the Euros. Like, for the first time in like ages, England are actually confident. The England fans are actually confident in the team. As Dougal's going to force the ball back to their defence. Australia now just playing around their defence at the moment, which has pretty much been the passage of the game and basically trying to get the ball over the top. But also this game has the potential to be a banger too. Oh, did he keep it in? Riley McGree, he did, but it's going to go straight to Chinese Taipei. But that was a bit of a bad pass there, so now Australia have regained the ball. In all honesty, it should be 3-0 to Australia, but Brandon Borello kind of missed a bit of an open goal opportunity because it was a one-on-one shot by Jamie McLaren, who the keeper saves and forces it to the right. Then Borello came in and tried to get a shot, but he smacked the post. Borello trying to keep it in there, but the ball's going to try to get to the 18-yard box. The ball's going to go out. It's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei. Did he keep it? McGree keep it in? That's really close. Oh, he just stayed in. It would have been a VAR, but the assistant referees have gone pretty good so far. As there's the goal kick there by Chinese Taipei. Okay, now it's fallen to the Chinese Taipei, but the Australians are just swarming them, trying to force the ball off them. It's a good beat there, and it's a through ball there, but it's going to go straight to Trent Sainsbury. Now, so with Sainsbury, that's actually Curtis Good. And there's going to be a throw in here now for Australia. How are Uzbekistan going in? Okay, Uzbekistan is second. So a win here will put them up to second and 5 points ahead of Palestine in Group D, because the first place is currently Saudi Arabia. There's 10 minutes remaining. So yeah, I believe it's a corner here, or is it a goal kick? It's a goal kick to Chinese Taipei here. I would like to see the stats of how many goal kicks have been by Chinese Taipei, because I feel like it's been about 10 so far this match. So now Australia, from a bit of a weak ball, is giving it away. Now Riley McGree's now got the ball. He's still got the ball here. He's still going. He feeds it off to the number 15 of Mitchell Duke, who tries to get across him, but it's going to go out as it misses everybody. It's going to be a throw into Chinese Taipei, but that's very good play there by Ryan McGree, the Birmingham City player. Formerly of the A-League, of course, playing for Adelaide United and the Newcastle Jets. Now Australia trying to probably get a third before half-time. I mean, to be completely honest, it should be 3-0, but okay, that's the number 5. That's John Rue with a whip in, and there was a header, but it's going to be forced out. Glad to see John Rue starting there. How's the game been? Australia have obviously had the brunt of like the possession and the shots, but the Chinese Taipei keepers have been going pretty well. But I think there's only been about 4 chances out of the 2 that have really pressured him. But he did make a great tip-over save. But it's going to be a corner here now for Australia. I think Chinese Taipei have only had like 1 shot as the corner's whipped in. Oh, and it's a header to Suter, and it's smacked the crossbar, but here comes another whip in. A lot more Aussie local A-League boys tonight, good to see. 100%. Emilio Estevez had a shot. He beat Ryan Grant try to get a shot near post, but it was saved by Vukovic. Here comes another corner now for Australia. I'm assuming they're going to look for Suter again. The whip in there. And it's gone in, but it's not by Suter. It's Trent Sainsbury, the captain, put up for this match. And it's now 3-0 to Australia. So the whip in there. It's the second goal that Australia have scored from the corner. And it is the other centre-back that has scored it. And the captain, Trent Sainsbury. Well, it's gone all the past there, everyone, and Trent Sainsbury's it's fallen to him when he gets the header off. Oh, and Australia now almost trying to get another goal immediately, but it's going to be a free kick there to Chinese Taipei. As we've got 4 minutes remaining now until added time, which, to be honest, it's probably not going to be much. I think maybe 3 minutes maximum, because there hasn't been a drinks break. Damn it, I wish the game was available to see for India too. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you'd be cheering after the because India did win today, as well. They beat oh fuck, my mind's already blanking. They beat somebody. They won 2-0. Was it Bangladesh that India beat? Or am I getting confused? I think I am actually getting confused. Oh, okay, it was Bangladesh. So we've got 3 minutes remaining now till added time. Australia now. Can they get a 4th one before the break? It is very interesting though with Chinese Taipei only scoring. Yeah, that game was telecast. Oh, okay. So Australia did get the. So Chinese Taipei have only scored 2 goals so far this group, and one of them actually was against Australia when we played them in October 2019, where it was a 7-1 win to Australia. Now Kenny Dougal now gets a through ball to Riley McGree. It's a bit of fast playing there, but it's Chinese Taipei are able to weed that out. Emilio Estevez now got fouled off the line, so it's going to be an advantage played here for Chinese Taipei. Are they going to go back for the foul or not? They won't. They played the advantage, so it's going to be a throw in here for Australia. I looked at the past games of Chinese Taipei and I thought it could be a bit close, but I think it could be another clean sheet. Maybe, just maybe, it might be. I mean, in terms of players I'd like to see come off the bench, I would like to see Rukavica come off the bench. He's been going really well. He's really like arguably the best on-form goal scorer from an Australian player who's been playing in a foreign league. Playing in, I believe he still plays in Israel. In the Israeli league, I think he scored like a bunch of goals there. Oh, and it's the whipping has fallen to Ryan Grant, but he has skied it, unfortunately. So Grant couldn't keep the ball down, so it's going to be another goal kick here for Chinese Taipei, as Grant has actually hit the crossbar earlier in the game. So now it's Chinese Taipei now with another goal kick. If it's gonna will be taken, so we're now under the final minute before added time. As Dougal now is trying to get a ball past to Barello. Australia now on a counter attack here. And it's a shot outside the box here, but it's taken a deflection off a Chinese Taipei player, so it's going to be another corner for Australia. Then they've had 5 corners this half, and 2 of them have resulted in goals. So there's a chance here now to get a 4th just before the break. The season ended, by the way, for Newcastle Jets with season. Now, what's your thoughts on that game? You happy? It was a good performance. We should have won, but I was more worried and focused on the Melbourne Victory City game to decide who would get the spoon. But because all we needed was victory to lose, and it was 1-0. Then it said in the 93rd that it was 2-0 to City, but VAR turned it down, and then Victory scored in the 95th minute to tie it, basically meaning they go 1 point ahead. But apparently there was a game against Melbourne City which was postponed, but I don't know when they're going to play it. And there's a lot of people saying that Melbourne City should just field the absolute worst possible team, so the Melbourne Victory can get the wooden spoon. So now 2 minutes of added time have been added. So Australia. Now, so we've got about 90 seconds until half time. And there's an attempted whip. Uh-oh. Oh, you're joking. It's happened again. Right at the end of the Australia-Kuwait game, there was a signal loss, and it just happened again. What's the wooden spoon? Is there anything happens for coming in last? The wooden spoon isn't like a physical thing. It's just what they say for a team that comes last. I think it's like the wooden spoon because in Australia, like your if you piss off like your nan off, they pull out the wooden spoon and then beat you in the arse with it. Basically, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know exactly where it comes from, but it's not like a physical thing. It's just they call it when you come last. Just the infamy and barge it, pretty much. Like, I remember many games when the Jets, I think it was one game when the Mariners were going to come last, which was our rivals. Everyone brought wooden spoons and threw them onto the field. And there goes the halftime whistle, and it's 3-0 to Australia over Chinese Taipei. So good bit of play here for Australia as we're gonna. There was another signal loss there that happened in the Kuwait game, and it's now happened in this one, but. That's taken the expression to a whole nother level. Yeah, it's I'm assuming that's what it means. It's just so basically, I feel like because I know that because the finals are coming up, Melbourne City have a week off, so they might play this during the week in Sydney because Melbourne actually has had a lot of COVID cases at the moment. So, hey, just wondering, where's the Nepal squad at? Isn't Nepal next for Socceroos? Yes, I believe they're in the bubble as well for in Kuwait, I believe. No, wait, hang on. Yeah, where would they be? Because they played. I'm actually going to check that, and then we're going to go into the halftime break. Uh, Nepal. They lost 3-0 to Jordan. Jamir Al Ahmad International Stadium. Yeah, they're in Kuwait. They're all in a bubble. I'd assume the match happened. They did the match before the Australian match. I'm assuming what they did. So they're all in the bubble together. Last game, I mean, there's a lot of supporters of Nepal going into bed. Nepal are going to crush the Aussies. I think it's. I mean, there was a lot of that for any team because I know that when Syria played Australia, it was a lot like that, but like on a massive scale. And there was also kind of thing for the Jets when they played their their Champions League game against Persija Jakarta from Indonesia. Same thing sort of happened, but it's one of those things. But yeah, I'm going to take a bit of a halftime break and we'll be back for the second half. Okay, we are just about to get underway now for the second half between Australia and Chinese Taipei. Just getting very close now, as of course it is 3-0 to Australia with a header from Hadi Sutar, a penalty from Jamie McLaren, and then another header from Trent Sainsbury, who is the captain for this matchup. There's a chance for Australia to make this a bit of a bollocking. Could actually check, because it was another game currently going on at the moment, as it was between Uzbekistan and Singapore. It has just finished, and it is a 5-0 win to Uzbekistan. So a big bit of play there from the Uzbekistan team. There's also another game actually going on. There's Germany are playing Latvia, and the at halftime score was 5-0 to Germany. I don't know if it's gonna. I'm gonna search up. Hang on. It is now currently 6-0 to Germany as Timo Werner scores in the second half. As the Australian team are now walking back onto the field to continue the second half. They were just pretty much just going to be waiting for the Chinese Taipei team to come on, and we'll be ready. As the Chinese Taipei appear, basically there's like this fisheye lens at the stadium, and the Chinese Taipei team have come onto the field now, so basically just about to be underway for the second half of this match between Australia and Chinese Taipei. The next two games for Australia in their group stages is going to be Nepal and Jordan, which should be very interesting to say the least, as Australia now kick off into becoming underway for the second half. Can actually open up flash scores to see the other games on moment. As Australia now with a chance here, trying to whip it in from the over the top here. It's a header, and just like that, 18 seconds into the second half, it is 4-0 to Australia. And that is number 15, that is Mitchell Duke from the Western Sydney Wanderers. That has got to be one of the fastest goals to start a half, 18 seconds in, and it's going to be 4-0 to Australia. That was a very big good start there for, if it's going to update, yeah, still haven't even updated that the game's actually kicked off here. Brilliant play there by the number 5, Darius Generud. Sends it down the line to Brandon Barello with the whip in. And the goal there by Mitchell Duke. And a minute gone into this second half. It is actually 4-0 to Australia over Chinese Taipei. So the other live matches going on at the moment in terms of the international friendlies. As Andorra are drawing with Gibraltar 0-0. The Faroe Islands are 3-0 up against Liechtenstein, and Germany are 6-0 up against Latvia. I didn't realise that sound. I think that sound is being used for when a goal goes in from actually on the flash scores thing. That actually scared the shit out of me. That scared the bollocks out of me. God damn. But at least we can actually use that for if we do the Euro games when there are games going on at the same time. So 2 minutes gone now. It's a chance here for Australia. They could get a cut in here. They won't, but it's going to be passed back to Chinese Taipei. Oh, there's a lot of pressure there, but the keeper is able. He's passed it back, and Jamie McLaren pressures him, forces the ball away, but Shinan Shin is able to dive back on it. So there's going to be a throw in now to Chinese Taipei right about on halfway. Nope, it's Australia, sorry, they're on the other way. Australia just going to control it onto their defences and basically just ride out the rest of the match, getting a couple of goals here and there. There is a sub here for the Chinese Taipei as Yoshitaka has... I couldn't even see. Hang on, I gotta go. I'm gonna go back as to what it said. As Kamara Yoshitaka has come off, as Tu Xiao Shei has now come on. As that is the first sub made by any team. So now Australia now playing with the ball around at the moment. Question will be, is this going to be a clean sheet? There's a through ball there, but Brandon Barolo not quick enough, so it's going to be a throw in here to Chinese Taipei. That bloody sound thing, that scared the absolute bollocks out of me. But I do feel like that could actually be a good thing for like if I like to do an FA Cup game and it's like the notification, it's a goal. So Chinese Taipei now haven't really been inside of Australia's half that much, and passes like that's not going to go well. It's the number 14 of Chen Xiaoan trying to control it. I've realised I've actually messed up here and actually have written for the Chinese Taipei team their last names their first and their first names last. So Australia now with a counter attack here. If they get a pass down to Borrello, they do. It's another attempted whip in, but it's not going to. It's going to take a big deflection. Oh no, it doesn't. It's going to just go out. It's going to be a goal kick to Chinese Taipei. As we're about to cross into 5 minutes into this second half. Now pass over the top here, so there's a chance here potentially for Chinese Taipei, and that cross-in has forced Danny Vigovic to come out and make the save. Yeah, so playing surface is a bit of concern at the moment because there was a game before this, which was the Nepal Jordan match, as that's a free kick now for Australia. It's about 35. Oh, they're going to take it quickly here, Australia. It was probably very far away for a shot. They looked late on Borrello, but Australia's still going to maintain the ball. Curtis good now with the ball. He's trying to get the pass to McGree. That's a handball there, surely. The referee missing that. That was a clear handball by Chinese Taipei. So now Ryan Grant now with the ball. They're going to force to give it off to Kenny Dougal. And as Australia get down to their defence, who's why by Yordi? It's early in the morning. Bars. It's fallen to Mitchell Duke, who tries to get a through ball into the 18-yard box, but it doesn't go through. But Kenny Dougal does get the rebound though. There's a lot of numbers forward here for Australia. There's a header. A chest by Borrello, keeping ups, and he hasn't been able to control it, but he's going to pass it back to Curtis Good. And Australia can regain control and try to go at it again. As Borrello now beats one. Actually breaks his ankle. They're going to force it down to the other side again as Kenny Dougal gets the ball and passes it back to defence. They reset again, Australia. Now Ryan Grant now with a whip in. It's a bit low driven. It's going to be headed away by Chinese Taipei. There's another rebound in. But Chinese Taipei will regain possession. but then immediately lose it now. Australia with a lot of good pressure so far. Riley McGree now with the ball, trying to take on the number 14 of Chen Xiaoan. There's a whip in there, but it's going to be headed away by Chinese Taipei. It's going to fall only to as far as Curtis Good, and Australia regain possession again and do another reset. As that's been pretty much what the plan has been so far for Australia. It's Ryan Grant now. Clipped from behind there by Emilio Estevez. Australia just trying to find their way into the box again. Bit of zonal defense coming here from Chinese Taipei. Now Barello now with a whip in. Oh, the ball has fallen somewhere inside the 18-yard box, but it has been cleared away by Chinese Taipei. But Australia's on a lot of high pressure at the moment, and it's whipping over the top here, and it's been controlled easily there by Australia to get the ball back. Is that Brandon Barello now gets it off to Kenny Dougal. Dougal gets a very interesting pass on Barello, but Barello loses the ball. And that through ball over the top to Chinese Taipei has gone out, so it's going to be a throw in to Australia. Just looking at the other games, there has been a goal. The Faroe Islands have gone 4-1 up against Liechtenstein. I know the two colossal teams of the competition, so good on the Faroe Islands. Oh, there's appeals for a penalty. That is number 15 is Mitchell Duke. Been a very big risk. It was Chen Wei Chuan, who was the one who got the yellow card and gave away the penalty in the first half, but it's not been given. Damn, mate, Faroe Islands, mate. Like, no game's bigger. Like, I think El Clasico comes a short second when it comes to Faroe Islands and Liechtenstein. As the ball over there has gone out, it's going to be a throw in here to Chinese Taipei, but it is deep inside their half. Let's have a look at this. Is this a penalty? I think it's a bit. So it's the number 5 actually. It was Chen Hao who actually pulls his arm, but Mitchell Duke, I think it goes down a little bit too easily. It's a good ball there by Jean Rowe. And it's going to be a free kick now to Chinese Taipei for a challenge by an Australian player. I believe it's Curtis Good, who's been not mean to make puns, but he's actually been pretty decent, to be fair. So could we be seeing an Australian sub? Changes yet? Any changes yet? There has been a change for Chinese Taipei, as Xiao Chiet 2 has come on for Chen Wei Xuan. No, Yoshitaka Komori, sorry. But there's been no changes so far for the Australian team. Oh, it's a shot over the top here from Chinese Taipei, and it's hit the roof of the net. Oh my. From the number 22 of Chen Jushay. And I think the thing was taken to deflection, but it's going to be it was a goal kick to Australia. That could have very easily been a goal, but it unfortunately lands on the roof of the net. Now Barello now with a whip in. It's a bit low. That's going to be cleared away there by Chinese Taipei. Now Sutar is going to be forced to pass it back to Vukovic, but he will pass it off to Trent Sainsbury. And now Curtis Good now with a ball over the top. And it's going to come out to the keeper, who does punch it away. But I'll go straight back to Curtis Good in defence, and Australia will regain possession. Now they're going to go down the sideline here. And it's a whip over the top here for Australia. And it fallen onto the number 15 of Mitchell Duke, but he couldn't get his head in position to aim it at the goal. And it's going... The whistle is sound. I don't know what happened. As Mitchell Duke and Chen Hao is getting a talking to. Oh, so Mitchell did complain about the penalty decision. Okay, fair. Reckon Lecky will get a look in. I think he should. Lecky should get in. The newly signed Melbourne City player who probably won't get a game until the prelim finals, as be interesting how this bubble will work, or he might even play there, to be fair. So there's a throw in there by the number 20 of Pai Xiao Yu. Now Chinese Taipei trying to force the ball as the number 22 gets pressured out. There was a Chen Jai Shai, and Australia do regain possession deep in their half, and it looks like Chinese Taipei are doing a bit of pressing here at the moment to try to force a mistake, so Australia concede a goal, and it won't be a clean sheet. Any other updates in the games currently going on? Nope, nothing else has happened. Yeah, there we are. I'm still on the clean sheet wagon family. Yeah, 100%. So now Australia now with possession. Can they get another goal here, to be fair? So Borello gets a ball down the side for but he does see the defender coming in and gets the tackle. But it's going to be a throw in here to Australia. They can press on, yeah. So good now. With a whip in. Grant coming around from the side late, but Australia still with possession. But Chinese Taipei are able to get it out of the box, and can they get a pass off? Oh, Australia do regain possession, and they immediately lose it. Now Chinese Taipei have the ball, and they're trying to enter the Australian half, which they haven't really done much, to be completely honest. Yeah, Chinese Taipei is still going here at the moment, and that's going to be given a foul here. So it was on the foul on Pai Xiao Yu, who gets pulled down by an Australian player. So it's going to be a free kick to Chinese. As Mitchell Duke literally touches the left rib of the Chinese Taipei player, who goes down. Bearing in mind something very similar happened to Mitchell Duke when he went down in the box but was not given a penalty. But this is a free kick, which is one of those things, you know. But there hasn't been any games. There's no been drinks breaks at all during this match, so it's only 37 degrees. It's not that hot. I do like how they draw a circle now for where the ball has to go, so fair play to them. It's going to be the number 11. It's going to be Hua Chum Ching, who is the captain for Chinese Taipei, to take this free kick. It's going to be a whip-in for a header. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Chinese Taipei headers go against the Australians. Only 37. And it's very low driven, but it's going to be cleared away. And there's the charge now. Chinese Taipei trying to get into the box. It's a good bit of play here. It's a pass to the side. There's a player there. And it's Chinese Taipei have scored. It's the number 15. It is Gao Weijie. And it's 4-1. Chinese Taipei, they've only scored 3 goals this entire tournament. This entire tube. And 2 of them have been against Australia. 1 back in 2019. And 1 now. So it's 4-1. Brilliant play there. Gao Weijie just left completely open. He waits for the boss. It was a brilliant pass there. But I think it was the brilliant bit of play there. And Chinese Taipei do get a goal. Vikovic almost got to it, to be fair, but he was way off his line there. kudos to Chinese Taipei, 100%. The thing is that they haven't even been playing that badly, but it's but there's a goal, and they've conceded. That's a thing Australia needs to take into effect, that they've in both of these games against Chinese Taipei, they have conceded against them. So now Australia, can they get an instant reply here? Oh, and it's attempted to clear away here, but Australia do lose contestation, and now Chinese Taipei with a bit of fire in them now from the result of that goal. There's a whip in over the top here, and it's up in the air. It's still in the 18-yard box, and it's a shot there by the number 17. Wait, number 17? Okay, so Chris Economides is actually on the field. I don't know how, because there was nothing that popped up that there was a sub. But there has been a sub, so Chris Economides is actually on the field. I believe Chris... Okay, so what I'm thinking is Chris Economides has come on. And I believe it is Metcalf. That it's... Where is it? Oh, Metcalf has come on now. Who are the subs? Hang on, bear with me with this second. I just have to check here. Where? Oh. Match summary. Here we go. It was definitely a subs made by Australia, so I have no idea what actually happened. Lol. Doing Houdini, doing a comment. Yeah, he's doing an Houdini appearance. So I think it's him and Metcalf who is actually on the field as well. But nothing's been popped up about that there was a sub. It must have happened at half time, and they just haven't said. That's confusing. I actually don't know who's actually. Economides now. Yeah, all those websites are going nuts keeping a truck these days. Even still, there was no banner. The thing is, though, the banners have been a bit late in these games for this match, because like when McGree scored, not McGree. Don't know why the delay these days. No, it wasn't McGree. It was McLaren actually, who got the penalty. It didn't pop up that he scored until like 4 minutes later on the actual game stream. Ball's going over the top here from the whip in. So now it's Economides. Economides now getting a whip in over the top. Can they find a header? The ball's up. Oh, oh, you're joking. Oh, come on. It's the number 20. It's Pai Xiao Yu who... So there's going to be more subs here coming in now for into the game. It still hasn't said who's... I can't refresh because this is a live update. Hang on, lineups. Does it say who's on the field? No, it doesn't. Has a starting lineup. This is a little bit confusing. So there's going to be more subs here now for Chinese sides. Be late, so I follow guys like you, mate. Got to be on that update. Yeah. So there's going to be two, the number 7 and the number 9, I believe that is, for Chinese Taipei going to be coming on. So it's going to be Li Mao and Lin Ming Wei are coming on. And Wei Zhe Gao is going to be coming off, the goal scorer for Chinese Taipei. Pretty good play of the ball. Have they got the hang on, have they got the updates for the... I don't know, this is confusing. Like, usually the subs would in this would pop up like in the middle of the series. If this was like the game stream, it would pop up around here of the subs, but nothing's popped up. I think the only one that popped up was when Kamori came off for Xiao. Oh, there we go. Emilio Estevez was the one that came off for Chinese Taipei. Okay, so we're all sorted on the Chinese Taipei team, but the Australian one, I have no idea what's going on. Any update? Oh, there is updates actually. It is now 7 minutes ago. It's 7-1 to Germany, and it's 5-1 to the Faroe Islands over Liechtenstein. So Latvia did get a goal, so fair play to them. See, you're more reliable than ESPN. Yeah, I'm using flash scores. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on at the moment. So Australia now with 22 minutes remaining until added time for the match. I can't refresh because whipping over the top here is a chance for a header, but it's gonna be caught by the keeper. I'm gonna check on. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to check. Hang on, Australia, Chinese. Hang on. So here, okay. Do they show who came on and off for the lineups? They haven't shown any of the Australians, but they've shown the Chinese Taipei ones. So yeah, literally everybody they've kept track of the Chinese Taipei lineup, but they've caught none of the Australian lineups. But we just know that Economides is on the field, and I believe Metcalf is also on. Connor Metcalf, the number 2, I think. As we're now about to cross with 20 minutes remaining now in this match. 23-20. Okay, let's go number 4. See, I have no idea. All I just know that Economides is on the field. Okay, number 23, that's good. To Economides now. They're inside of Taipei's half. Is Borrello off? Yeah, that's number 2. That is Metcalf. So Metcalf is on the field. I feel like Metcalf came off for Borrello, is what I think has happened. Utter bias. It's like Flash Scores, it has the same thing. Google, I think it's because Australia have just been sneaky, so we don't know what happened. But now, I definitely believe that Borrello is off the field. I'm going to say he's off. There's no changes to the defense. But who's the other player? Is Dougal off? Yeah, that's what. Okay, that's what I think it is. I think it's Dougal and Borrello who came off. Oh, that's a good tackle there by Pye. And the ball will go out. It is going to be a corner now for Australia. Who does Pye? The number 20, Pye Xiao Yu play for. I'm gonna take a stab, and I believe he's probably gonna be. He plays in. Oh, here we go. So Borrello did come off. So they have updated. Borrello did come off for Archimedes. So yeah, they are starting to finally update. Here's the attempted whip in, but oh shit. And Dougal has come off. And Dougal has come off for Connor Metcalf. So basically, when I say it, it's officially confirmed. I speak it into existence, kind of like the Harry Sutar goal. So here comes the corner kick now by... Oh, as the referee having a talking to the number 19. That is a Xiao 2. So now here comes the corner now for Australia. It's going to be whipped. Is that Mitchell Duke who whips it in? No, it's the number 5. It's Genru whips it in. And it's a header, but it's been cleared off the line here by Chinese Taipei. And an Australian player goes for a bicycle kick. And the only thing he hits is a... I think Metcalf and Oik should get a start on this tour, eh? Yeah, this is he's the newest cap Metcalf, and Economides I believe should be starting. Yeah. Oh, so Xiao Shiet two basically accidentally walked into the shoulder of Jamie McLaren and basically acted like he just got shot. So that was the initial stoppage. Yeah, that's about it in terms of all the updates. So we've got 17 minutes now remaining in this match, still 4-1. Chinese Taipei now with the ball inside of Australia side from a throw in. Australia now on a counter attack here. Oh, that's good shot. Oh, that's a yellow card surely for that challenge. As the number 6, that is Chen Wei Xuan. He needs to be very careful here because he was on the yellow card. He gave away the penalty. I feel like one more challenge like that and he's gonna be sent off. It was on Mitchell Duke there. One more and Chinese Taipei could easily. That should be a. He's gone for the ball, but he's absolutely clarted him from behind. That personally should be. He should be off. He should be second yellow. But it's going to be a free kick here for Australia. There's going to be subs now. 10 and 11. That's going to be Hrustic and Rukavica are going to come onto the field. And they're going to replace Riley McGree will be coming off. A good shift for him. So Rukavica coming in, being an absolute weapon in Israel with his goal scoring abilities, and that's going to be Jamie McLaren also coming off for Australia. So here comes the whip in now by Genru. It's going to be a short one delivered, and it's a potential shot outside the line here, and it's going to be down the line and straight to the keeper there. As they're coming into now the final 15 minutes, Hrustic give the man a free kick, 100%. That free kick against Kuwait was brilliant. But then again, that free kick was like 40 metres away. There was no way anyone's getting a shot off there. So now it's pretty much if Australia have made changes to their midfield and attack, so not much in their defence. So we could be seeing this being as the set defence of Good, Grant, Sainsbury and Suter. Maybe. Australia now, obviously play Australia almost keeping on going. A lot of players back here for Chinese Taipei. Now Ryan Grant with possession of the ball. It's going to give it to, I believe that's no, it's not Sainsbury, that is Suter. Now it's to Sainsbury. Back to Suter. It's a decent defense. 100% it's a decent defense. They just made a cock up with the actual advertising with the sub board because it was Nikita Rukavica that's come on, but they've said that the number 11 is actually Awa Mabil, and it's like I don't really understand how you can get confused with an Australian of I believe Greek heritage with an Australian from South Sudan. I don't exactly know how you can confuse that. But Bill's not even on the field. But Bill's not even in the team sheet. There's a chance here. Australia gets cleared away. Yeah, I'm just looking. Other Bill's not even on the subs bench. So, yeah. There's the number 11. I'm just gonna recheck. He still that Rukavica. He still plays in Israel, doesn't he? Yeah, Nikita Rukavica, he plays for Maccabi Haifa. Yeah, Israeli Premier League. I do remember at some point during the season this year, I would like to see what they were smoking, these guys. 100%. Rukavica, it was just said that at one point he had the biggest goal tally in the entire world for the in the last season. He had like 13 goals in his like first couple of matches. As there was a free kick there against Australia here, as we're up to the final 13 minutes. As far as I recall, in terms of outfield players, the only ones that haven't actually made an appearance for the team is would be Matthew Leckie and Ruan Tongic are the only ones who out of this squad that actually hasn't gone game time. So maybe they come on in the last couple of minutes, or they'll probably start in the game against Nepal. So Australia now giving the ball away to Taipei, but there's a kick over the top. It's going to go straight into the hands of Vukovic, who, besides from the goal, hasn't actually really had to do much this match. And now it's a cross switch here. It's a ball. Archimedes now controls it. It's a great bit of control there. Leckie, mate, they should bring him in, but fair point. Yeah, Leckie definitely should come on. Resting in from Nepal, maybe. Yeah, it's going to be another free kick given away by Australia. It's the number 7 for Chinese Taipei. That's Lin Ming Wei. And it was the number 10. It was Hrustik who gave away the foul, but I'd assume he went for the ball and accidentally clipped his leg. That's fair enough. But he was telling him to get up, basically. But we've got 11 minutes remaining now in this match. Is there any other updates coming through? So final score, Andorra and Gibraltar playing a 0-0 classic. The Faroe Islands still 5-1 up in the 92nd minute, and Germany beat Latvia 7-1 in the final score. Now, Australia now got a charge here. As Rukavica takes a shot from like 30 yards out, but it goes wide. It's going to be a goal kick here. And it's going to be a sub now for Australia. Is it a sub for Australia? No, I was about to say, it's the Commodores looked like it was going to come off the field, but it's going to be a sub here. Because the referee did it's going to be 2 for Chinese Taipei. Number 4 and number 17 coming on. So that is going to... 4 and 17. There. Oh, yeah. As the number 22 comes off. So 9. So 17. That's Su Hang Pin is coming on in the number 11 as Wu Chun Ching, who is the captain for Chinese Taipei, is coming off. So now 10 minutes remaining now until added time, as it was Chen Guishe who comes off for the number 4 of Liang Meng Xing. The X makes a sure sound, I think. Now Australia now with the ball from the possession that Danny Vukovic has just had. They're going to send the ball down the line now. There's Economides now with the ball. Australia, a lot of the Australian players are forward at the moment. You reckon they'll play McLaren and Leckie up front for Nepal? That's... Yeah, I think that's probably a very solid lineup, to be fair. A start to attackers. So Metcalf with the whip over the top, but it's gone. It's going to be a punt. It was punched away there by Chinese Taipei, but it was a weak one. As Australia get another whip in there, it's going to be headed away by Chinese Taipei. But Australia does get another whip in. Here's a third header, and it's just going to go wide, and it's going to be tapped away by Chinese Taipei for a throw-in. Okay, is there any other games actually going on? Is this the only game live? Is there any other live games on? Literally the only other games going on is Paraguay, Iceland, Chile are the only other countries with games on at the moment. Germany is over, I think. Yeah, it is a 7-1 win over Latvia. So attempt the ball over the top there by Chinese Taipei, but it's going to be falling to Australia's defence. It's going to be passed back to Danny Vukovic, who was chased down by the number 20 of Trent Sainsbury, who did net himself a goal. To Ryan Grant now. Getting the pass off, that's the number 2 now, that's Metcalf, who's going off to Archimedes. Archimedes is getting the passing off, and now here comes number 20, that is Sainsbury. No, it's number 23, sorry, that is Curtis Good, who's potentially probably going to get the full 90. Who does Connor Metcalf play for? I'm just gonna check, because I don't. Connor Metcalf. Oh, he plays for Melbourne City, does he? Yes, he does. There's a reason why Melbourne Victory drew with Melbourne Cities, because half the team is in the Australian squad. Good for you. That's good. Yeah, he's actually fairly solid. He's whipping over the top here, trying to get a touch control. It's the number 11. They've drawn the keeper out. There's no keeper, and it's 5-1 to Australia. As it's number 11. It is Rukavica off the bench, gets a goal. Metcalf is in the alley. Gets the number. Wait, hang on. No, hang on. I don't think it was Rukavica who scored. So Rukavica took the ball and drawed out the keeper and passed the game. And it's the number who? Number 6? 16? Who is it? So Rukavica draws the keeper and it gets a pass. It's to the number 15, sorry. It was not Rukavica. He does get the assist, however. Draws out the keeper and gets a pass off to Mitchell Duke, who gets a shot basically in an open net. And it's 5-1 to Australia. So that's 2 goals to Mitchell Duke for Australia in this match. So fair play to him. But a nice bit of play there by Rukavica to get the goal. As the number 5 has come off for Australia. That's Genru, who's come off. So who did Genru get replaced by? Duke, what a guy, yeah. But absolute what great lads. I'm trying to figure out who just came on to replace, who just came off to replace Genru. He's a midfielder, so I'm assuming it might be Karacic. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Whip it over the top here, and there's a header, but it's going to go out for a corner now for Australia. It's the number 8. It is Ruon Tonjik. It is Ruon Tonjik. So Ruon Tonjik has come onto the field. Well done for Genru. Was that his first start? Yes. I think it was his first game actually for Australia as well, so he did really well. I think they fucked up again as well with the text. They definitely have. They've said the number 8 was Ryan McGowan, but it was actually Ruon Tonjik, who again, Ruon Tonjik is from South Sudan. And Ryan McGowan's from, Adelaide? I'm assuming they must have fucked up. So basically everyone but Lecky got a run out. Pretty much, yeah. I'm assuming they're going to start Lecky for the Nepal match, or maybe even the Jordan match, to be fair. They might bring Lecky on the side. I'm going to try to find this. Where's the Kuwait, Australia? Number 5 was Holland. Number 8, McGowan. What I think, what they're smoking. What I think has happened is they've got the team sheet, because I just realised the number 8 for Australia against Kuwait was McGowan. So I'm assuming the people who are doing the broadcasting have got the wrong bloody team sheet. So I think they've got the team sheet for the Australian side for Kuwait, the Kuwait match, not this match. So I think that's what's happening. They've absolutely stuffed up, because Tonjic is the number 8 for this game, but the number 8 for for the Kuwait one was McGowan. So that's what I think is going on. So it's just another classic of Fox Sports being shit. I'd assume this will be on all the meme pages very quickly. So now we've got 2.5 minutes remaining now for Australia. It's the number 10, that is Australia doing some mumbo jumbo tactics on their jersey numbers. It must be. As it's going to be a goal kick here for Chinese Taipei with about 2.5 minutes remaining. State of Origin watch along. Yes, I will be doing a State of Origin watch along for Game 1 on Wednesday. Should be very interesting to see what does happen. Because I do have money on the game. As the sun's about to come up here in Australia. I mean, it has come up, it's just lights breaking off. That must have been what happened. They must have gotten the team sheet for the Kuwait instead of Chinese Taipei. Because I think where is Ryan McGowan from? Because I think Ryan McGowan's like one of the whitest ones on the team. Ryan McGowan, he's he plays for Sydney. He's from Adelaide, yeah. Whilst Tongic is from. He's originally from South Sudan, but who does Tongic play for? We're learning a lot today. Who does Ruon Tongic play for? He plays for... Okay, that makes sense. He plays for Melbourne City. Go fucking figure. Do you reckon they should have shifted match timings to suit Australian viewers, you think? No. It's like... I don't... I mean, Australia, when every time they play away, it's always like this, but it's like, at least it's like at 5 a.m. and not like 2 a.m. So it's kind of better. But, yeah, so we're coming up now to the 90th minute mark. I don't think there's going to be much added time, maybe like 2 minutes. Really? No. And it's like... I mean, obviously they should, but it's not like it's going to happen. He plays for the Mariners. Really? Must be on loan. They're trying to check here because it so it came off the keeper's hands here. It touches and it's gone. Yeah, that's gone out. I'd say it's a corner for Australia. And right on the 90, here comes the corner. The header. And it's been tapped away by Shin An. Brilliant defensive there as we're into the 90th minute now. As there'll be 2 minutes of added time. Whip in here, another header. But it's going to be a free kick to Chinese Taipei for Suta going over the top of everybody. Hang on, so it's the number 11, I'm just checking, so the number 11 of Rukavica, I'm assuming, yeah, Alamabil was number 11, can we seal it with the 6th? By the way, it's looking not on a loan, 29, he moved there from a free coming from Raw. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. So, yeah. Bro, when a guy who writes down the team sheet is more accurate of the subs than Fox Sports, it's Pogs. What's the highest the Socceroos have scored in a game? That would be against American Samoa. I don't know what year it was, where we won 31-0. And it's like I think it's like the highest international score of all time. And it's kind of one of the reasons why Australia play in Asia now and not in Oceania. Because, well, that reason, because it's where Archie Thompson scored 11 goals. Oh, Hrostic gets brought down. Sure, that's a free kick, but no, it's not. As there's 20 seconds remaining, the whistle should go in about any moment now. Australia get one more chance. That's mental. That's a bloody cricket score. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Like that. Oh, it's a header, and it's gonna go down the wide. Still one more chance here. If the game got washed out. 2001. There it is. The whistle has sounded. Australia win 5-1 over Chinese Taipei. So now we are basically definitely through to the third round of the was a qualifying game for the World Cup. Yeah. So that's so that it did be one of those. I think it was like because we played like the Solomon Islands and all that. So it's a good win there for Australia. We play Nepal on Saturday at 2 in the morning. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be able to cover that because it took me ages to get my sleeping pattern back in order, and I don't want to ruin it again. So let's just have a look. So when do they play Jordan? They play Jordan Wednesday the 16th of June at 5. Oh, hang on. That's during the Euros as well, so I don't think I might be able to cover that. Or do you reckon the next game will be competitive or just a run out for the fringe players? Well, it's against Nepal, so I feel like it's going to be one of those kind of those running out the fringe players. But then Jordan, they'll put their full team out because Jordan's pretty much a bogey team to Australia, and they're one of the teams that we do need to beat. So yeah. I need to hang on. I just need to check because the Euros are on as well at that point as well. So Wednesday the 16th at 5 p.m. Yeah. Wednesday the 16th at 5. Oh, so I've got to choose. I've got to choose of either doing Australia and Jordan or France and Germany, which is in the Euros. You're going to cover the Euros? Yes, I'm definitely going to be covering a fair amount of the European matches. I've got to choose France, Germany. That's the thing though, because but then if we do Jordan, then we're going to get also a lot of people because it's going to be because it's going to have the Middle Eastern fans of the Jordan fans going to come in and basically I don't know. That's going to be a hard one to pick, but yeah. So cover them both. That a simulcast that actually might work, to be fair. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the stream. Thank you all for watching, and I'll probably do an Australian game at some point down the line. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.